Hi there folks, welcome to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson and boy, I'm glad you joined us today. We're going to have a great show. We're going to talk about something that we've been talking about for years in the beef industry, and that's preconditioning these calves prior to entry into the marketplace. My guest, Dr. Dave Rethorst from right here at Kansas State University. Stay tuned. Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value. Folks, welcome to DocTalk. Dr. Dave, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Folks, this is Dr. Dave Rethorst, and he is a veterinarian, and he is the Director of Outreach for the Beef Cattle Institute here at Kansas State University, and spent a few years bouncing up and down the roads there in south central Nebraska.
North central Kansas.
Central Kansas.
Just a day or two.
Yep, in veterinary practice, and now we're fortunate enough to have his expertise here on our faculty at Kansas State University, and we're going to talk about preconditioning, and it's something that's near and dear to both of our hearts, something that we spend an awful lot of time working with producers and practitioners on.
Right.
And so let's just start out by, what is preconditioning?
Well, the way I like to define preconditioning, Dan, is it's calves vaccinated, weaned on the ranch, fed on the ranch for 45 days, and then marketed. That way we've got them through the ball of weaning, we've got them started on feed, then when they go to the feed yard or go into another operation, we've greatly reduced the risk of respiratory disease.
Yeah, and I think that that's been the thing, you know, people will be like, well, I bought some preconditioned calves and they got sick, or I didn't get the same price. I didn't get a better price for preconditioning as my neighbor did, who just threw them in the trailer and took them to town bawling. But, you know, I think part of that gets back to exactly what we just started here today. Let's define preconditioning.
Let's define preconditioning, because a calf that's vaccinated on the ranch and weaned in the trailer on the way to the sale barn is a vaccinated calf. It's not a preconditioned calf by definition.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because, you know, the term preconditioning is, you know, I kind of term it as like conditioning for football.
Right.
And if they told me today to walk over, yesterday or whatever, to go over to the spring game and put on some pads, I am not conditioned.
Not conditioned for that at all.
No, and I'd get waylaid. And that's what we're talking about with these calves, is it's a time of building that immune response, the time of building that security and decrease in stress.
Right. We're preparing them for the next stage of their life.
Yep.
Trying to keep them alive, quit wasting resources.
Right. So we'll go back to preconditioning, weaned, they know what a water tank is, they know what a feed bunk is. What else?
And they've been there 45 days, so they're through all of the sweat of weaning, and that immune system should be working good, and they're ready to go on.
Immunized.
Immunized.
Dewormed.
Castrated, dehorned, bunk broke, tank broke.
And that's the thing is so as a beef producer, you know, we can get into the economics of it because people are going to compare prices. But the other thing is they have more pounds.
That's right. You know, I tell producers all the time, you know, they grumble, well, my neighbor got $1.80 for his calves that he just hauled in, and I didn't get enough on top of you know, I got $1.70 for mine that had been weaned. Well, if you'd been feeding yours, you got more pounds. The difference is in the pounds.
Yep.
You've got to look at the total dollar bottom line, not the price per pound.
The pounds without the slide.
Yep.
When we come back, we're going to discuss more and get into kind of the specifics of preconditioning here with Dr. Dave Rethorst. You're watching DocTalk, and we're sure glad that you joined us today.
This segment was brought to you by Brute Cattle Equipment, makers of the Brute Stealth Hydraulic Chute. If the chute fits, swear by it. Visit our website for more information. Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new Vet Gun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The Vet Gun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it from an ATV, on horseback, or just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML Vet Cap is used with the Vet Gun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. Vet Gun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
Got cattle? Rotomix manufactures a complete line of energy-efficient rotary and vertical feed mixers for feedlots, beef production, dairy, and cow-calf operations. Our mixers are available with the patented Generation 2 staggered rotor, the industry standard for feeding wet rations that include wet distiller's grain. Made in the USA, Rotomix mixers are designed for feeding performance that American cattlemen and dairy producers have come to expect. Rotomix, proud to offer a better mix in less time using less fuel.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
You know, I think people are just kind of born with a passion.
I wouldn't be where I am today without that horse.
Oh, I'm not passionate about horses. That's just something that's in here. I can't explain it.
Some people go to a job every day. I just go do what I love to do. That's all I know is horse.
The bottom line, we're for the horse. It's whatever we can do to make life better for the horse, wherever they are, whatever they do.
They're just magic, that's all. They got me.
If we always do what's right for the horse, we will never go wrong.
This segment is brought to you by Norbrook Laboratories, manufacturers of Enroflox 100, the newest addition to your arsenal for treating bovine and swine respiratory disease.
Folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Dave Rethorst, and we are from Kansas State University, and we're talking about preconditioning and preparing calves for transfer from one segment of the industry to the other. We have a very unique industry where we have 750,000 cow-calf producers funneling down into a few thousand feedlots, down into a few packers.
A handful of packers.
And so, you know, I've heard it defined as kind of the beef industry is the shape of a wine bottle,
right?
And it goes down to the neck. And so, you know, as we're talking about this, developing the immune system of these calves to go through these phases, there's some stuff you've been working on with fetal programming.
Yes, sir. You know, I got interested in fetal programming several years ago at an Academy of Veterinary Consultants meeting, and Rick Funston at University of Nebraska North Platte did some work with protein in the last third of gestation and showed that the steer calves out of those supplemented cows perform better in the feed yard. The heifer calves out of those supplemented cows perform better reproductively, you know, and who would think that protein during pregnancy makes a difference? Well, it does, and that's pretty well proven. But I've also been doing some work looking at trace mineral, and you know, when I was in Nebraska, if we were going to cheat those cows on trace mineral anytime, we cheated them mid to late gestation, which is the absolute worst time we could cheat that cow on trace minerals, because we're robbing the calf, and that calf's immune system isn't functioning. Because that last third of gestation, that cow is dumping trace minerals to the calf priming that immune system. If we're cheating that cow, that calf's immune system isn't going to work right the first 60 days of life.
Well, and it goes right back to when the immune system of the calf kicks in. In the fetus, it's going to kick in at that 120 days or 4 months of gestation.
Absolutely.
And that's, and we were all taught that because of BBD,
PIs. Yeah, absolutely.
And so it makes a lot of sense that immune system of that calf kicks on at 120 days gestation, and that's when we have to be fortifying that diet so that when that calf hits the ground,
it's loaded for bear.
Yep, that it's able to fight off the E. coli's and the salmonellas and the cryptos and the things like that when we're talking about calf scours. So focusing on that fetal programming, whether it's protein because of the rapid growth rate and energy, but also the immune system and those micro and macro minerals.
Yeah. There's also some neat work out of the University of Wyoming on energy that a cow that's deficient in energy late in gestation, the brain's smaller, the pancreas is smaller, just all the organs are smaller because the energy wasn't there. So it's really neat.
Well, I think the rest of my organs are okay, but I was going to think maybe my mom died when she was pregnant with me on some of those things. But I think this is time we're gonna have to take a break.
Okay.
But when we come back, let's get into some of the other things that you're talking about at the time of weaning, the deworming and the vaccine strategies and things to that.
Very good.
We got to get people to precondition more. I think it's one of the most important things that are going to face our industry, whether it's antibiotic residue avoidance, whether it's how we use antibiotics judiciously, or animal welfare or food safety. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We're going to be back here after the break.
This Meet the Veterinarian is brought to you by MERCK Animal Health, the science of healthier animals. Dr. Laird Lawrence is the founder and owner of Hill Country Veterinary Clinic, a mixed practice located in Fredericksburg, Texas. Dr. Lawrence is a graduate of Texas A&M University and has served as Technical Services Manager of U.S. Cattle and Small Ruminants for MERCK Animal Health since January 2013.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Hi there, folks. Dr. Dan from DocTalk here. Be sure to join me next week as my guest will be Dr. Fred Gingrich, and we're going to discuss proper antimicrobial usage on the farm. Be sure to join me here every Monday afternoon on RFD TV, and I'll see you down the road.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Beef producers need a practical choice when antibiotic therapy is required. More than ever, they are reaching for non-prescription Noromycin 300 LA from Norbrook. Specially formulated to produce sustained antibiotic blood levels up to 4 days in cattle, Noromycin 300 LA delivers economic, broad-spectrum disease management for pneumonia, shipping fever, pink eye, wound infections, and foot rot. See for yourself why Norbrook's Noromycin 300 LA is the practical choice for your herd. TrueTest Group, weighing systems, electronic identification, EID, electric fencing, and dairy automation systems help farmers and ranchers around the world manage the performance of their livestock for ultimate profitability.
Hi there, folks. Welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson and Dr. Dave Rethorst here from the Beef Cattle Institute at Kansas State University, and we're very thankful that you joined us. We have a great show today, at least I feel we do.
This is a fun topic to talk about.
I'm a little biased, though, when it comes down to whether it's a great show or not. But we're talking about preconditioning calves, and it's, you know, whether we talk about animal welfare, food safety, antibiotic usage, you know, these are all things that if we do this right, we can have positive impacts on our cattle and our industry.
Absolutely can.
So let's jump right in here and start out with some of the animal husbandry management practices, the castration and the dehorning.
You know, it's critical on these calves. You know, let's get these babies castrated. You know, when they're 2 months old, or you know, if you're handling them at birth and mom isn't snorting in your pocket, let's take care of it when we put an ear tag in them. But you know, let's sure get them done when they're a couple months old and reduce that stress on them.
Yeah.
You know, when that calf ends up at the feed yard and he's still got his testicles, he's 3 times more likely to get sick if he's still got his testicles at the feed yard.
Yep, we got to castrate them early, and you can't do it often, but you only can do that once.
You can only do it once, but let's do it early. Yeah. You know, and while we're talking about castration, let's think about dehorning. You know, if you're using breeds that have a polled option available, let's take the horns off when we turn the bull out. You know, a good friend of mine out in California got after me for saying let's take care of it genetically, but he's a horned Hereford breeder, and I understand that, and we'll deal with that. But
boy, direct
again,
all
as a
correspondence to Dr. Dave on this one. But you're right. We've got to move towards polled. Heck, in Canada, I heard in their sale barns now they've got a horn tax. That
really,
when the calves come through the sale barn, there's a horn tax, and that money goes towards research and things to that nature. So there are some things that are some fun options.
Right, but we can take them off genetically. If you can't do it genetically, let's get them off as babies, burn them or paste or whatever, but let's reduce this weaning time and after dehorning.
Taking that small cautery tool at the time of putting the ear tag in is easy while those are still buds and they're not horns before they attach to the skull.
Right, absolutely.
So deworming?
Deworming, you know, we tend to think about deworming just from a gain standpoint, but if we get those calves dewormed before we wean, get that, because those worms are doing nothing but sucking protein out of that calf. So if we get the worms out of there, we get the serum protein up, the immune system works better. Just every little bit helps. You know, it's kind of like Coach Snyder says that, get a little bit better every day. Well, you know, deworming's one of those things that we can do that just takes us another step towards making that immune system work right.
I mean, you know, as Dr. Upson, good friend of ours, you know, would say there's 2 reasons why an animal gets sick. Overwhelming dose of a pathogen or suppressed immune system. And this is taking care of that immune system.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up talking with Dr. Dave Rethorst from the Beef Cattle Institute about preconditioning your calves. You're watching DocTalk. We're glad that you joined us, and we'll see you here after the break.
Beef producers asked for it, and Norbrook delivers. Introducing new Enroflox 100, the newest addition to your arsenal for treating bovine respiratory disease. Enroflox 100 is an FDA-approved, ready-to-use injectable antimicrobial solution to treat BRD associated with Mannheimia hemolytica, Pasteurella multocida, and Histophilus somni in beef and non-lactating dairy cattle. Administered SQ as a multiple-day therapy. Consult with your veterinarian today about Enroflox 100, the new choice.
Hi, I'm Kevin Ochsner, host of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman and Colorado Rancher. Join me each week as the National Cattlemen's Beef Association brings you the latest updates in industry information and market news. Plus, each week we provide important educational information and features on cattlemen from across the country just like you. And we can't forget our favorite cowboy poet, Baxter Black. Join me for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, debuting Tuesday nights at 8:30 Eastern, right here on RFD TV.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Doc Talk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Dave Rethorst. And we're at Kansas State University's Beef Cattle Institute in the College of Veterinary Medicine. We're talking about preconditioning, and now we're going to get to the one that everybody argues about, talks about. This is the coffee shop, four-color ad discussion.
What vaccines are you going to use?
And I say one of them. But it gets back to timing of vaccines.
It gets back to timing and building. You know, we want to start, you know, on these spring calving cows, we want to start vaccinating these calves this spring and not just the 7-way black leg and turn them out. We want to think about getting a viral into
That's
them.
the one thing, you know, that people need to know. The blackleg vaccine is not a respiratory vaccine.
Right.
Although I've heard it defined that many times.
We both have. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into what your program is.
Okay.
And we always recommend work with your local veterinarian. This is
Absolutely.
our opinion, and you know, we want to make sure that you understand that.
Yep, got to work with your local veterinarian, keep him in the loop. But on these calves pre-turnout, I like to put a modified live viral into those along with that 7-way. You know, a lot of people want to use a killed vaccine, a killed viral, but that modified live will override colostral antibody and will prime the immune system in face of colostral antibody, where the killed will not. Killed doesn't do a whole lot for us on these spring turnout calves.
So this is at 3 months of age?
Yes.
Branding.
Branding time.
Pre-turnout
Right.
branding, okay. And so we have these calves born in February, March. We're looking May, June.
Right, absolutely.
Okay. And my dad and I spent a lot of time on a shoot doing pre-turnout vaccinations. So we're going to use modified live 5-way.
Right, the IBR,
BVD.
2 strains of BVD, BRSV, PI3.
Okay. What about at weaning?
I still like to do a pre-weaning vaccination, and with that modified live in the spring, you've got a little more flexibility. You can do a pre-wean and a wean, or you can do a wean and post-wean, or some people just do one time at weaning, but I really think the most bang for the buck is do a pre-wean and a weaning. And again, if the cows are set up right, you can use that modified live pre-weaning, pop that immune system. We can put an injectable dewormer in those calves if we're 28 days or less ahead of weaning. We can clean those parasites out, and they won't be reinfected because of the duration of activity of those injectable wormers. And then we can come back when we wean and pop them one more time with a viral, and have had very good success with that program weaning on the ranch.
Great. Thanks for being on the show today.
Love it. Could talk about this all day long.
Well, we're going to have to come back and have a follow-up, because, you know, when we talk about pre-wean, wean, and post-wean, we could be talking about vaccinating and then a soft wean, followed by the actual weaning. Remember to always work with your local veterinarian on these types of topics and get these calves preconditioned. From Kansas State University, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. If you want to know more about what we do on DocTalk, you can find us at DocTalkTV.com, or you can find us at www.vet.ksu.edu. Thanks for watching DocTalk today. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from the College of Veterinary Medicine at Kansas State University, and I'll see you down the road. Closed caption brought to you by AgriLabs, the perfect pairing of performance and value.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com.